So this is the test format. Do you guys have questions or clarification or any of that jazz? Okay. Do you guys have homework questions? It's been a minute since I've seen you guys. Grab that. Real quick also. Oh, okay. Who wants to go first? And someone got a homework question? I saw a bunch of people get stuff out, so I felt like you're going and you're like, yeah, I have one. Let me go find it. If that's not the case, that's okay, but you guys made a lot of noise opening books and backpacks and leafing through papers and stuff. Yeah, Lexi. Sorry, did your hand up for a minute? I didn't see it.
Can you from the chapter 7 problem, like 17?
Chapter 7, number 17? Surely hope so. Okay. Okay. So if we're looking at 17, first thing I want to do is determine which of those 5 cases this is. Side, 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 angle, side, 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 angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side. From what's written down, I can tell which one of the 3 it is without even having to draw a picture here. Can you? Which one is it?
Side, side, side.
Great. And you can tell because none of those things are angles, right? First thing I'm going to do in a side, side, side is check to see if the problem's possible. How do we check? Leg plus leg greater than the hypotenuse. Is 8 plus 7 greater than 16? No triangles possible, and we're done. Again, this rule for a side, side, side situation is something I'd probably want to put on my note card. Any side, side, side problem where there's an area problem or a solving problem, I'm going to make sure that I'm checking to make sure the triangle is even possible. That was a little anticlimactic, I'm sure there, Lexi, but do you have another one? I don't know if that gave you what you really wanted from that problem or not.
Can you just do a side, side, side?
Yeah, let's do 16. What do you say, since it's sitting right there? Okay, so there we can see 5 plus 10 is greater than 12. So that one works. So right now in this problem, we have 3 angles to solve for, right? Angle X, angle Y, and angle Z. So when I have three angles to solve for, which angle do I need to find first? What do you guys think? Biggest angle first. So how can I tell X, Y, or Z which one's going to be the biggest? What letter? Great. So Y in this case, right? Angle Y, because angle or side Y is the biggest. Exactly right. So I'm going to set up my law of cosines. Again, for side, 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 and side angle side, we use law of cosines to start. And now my goal here is going to be solving for angle Y. So I notice here I have these things that are being added. So to move them to the other side, I have to subtract them over. Right, just like some regular Algebra 1 solving. Now these things are being multiplied to my variable. So to move those over, I have to divide. And notice I'm not doing any simplification along the way. I'm going to let my calculator handle all of that trash. I'm just going to like push some symbols around. Do the stuff my calculator can't do. So far, so good. Now, last thing I need to do is get rid of this cosine that's in front of the y. What cancels out a cosine? We used it all the time in first semester. Yeah, the inverse, cosine inverse. So we do that to both sides. And now it's calculator time. Now, when I'm typing this into my calculator, I'm going to do second cosine to get the cosine inverse. And I want to use that horizontal fraction bar in my calculator. Really important that I use that because this is going to require a whole heap of parentheses otherwise. And I just don't want to mess around with all those parentheses. I want to just be able to type it in just like it looks like on my sheet of paper. So I'm going to do alpha y equals and pick that first option to get that horizontal fraction bar in there. And now I can just type it in exactly like it looks on my sheet of paper. Don't forget your negative sign on the bottom. Make sure when you're typing that negative sign, use the negative sign symbol and not the subtraction symbol. And I get 100.95. Now I have two angles to solve. When I have two angles to solve for in a problem, which one do I need to find first? The smaller. So between angles X and Z, which one is going to be the smaller of the two? Between X and Z, which one is going to be the smaller of the two angles? Somebody quick tell me. Yell the letter. X. Very good. How'd you know it was X? Because the side for X is smaller than Z. Now to solve for angle X, I can either do the law of cosines again, or I would prefer to do the law of sines just because it's a simpler formula to manipulate. So I'm going to do sine of y over y equals sine of angle X over X. I'm going to cross multiply. So 12 times sine of angle x equals 5 times sine of 100.95. Divide both sides by 12. Again, I'm solving for angle x, so I want to get that by itself. And then how do I cancel out the sine that's in front of it? I use sine inverse, so I do that to both sides. So there's that. So sine inverse of 5 times sine. I'm going to do second ands and just grab that number so I don't have to type it all in and have a chance at mistyping it. And I get 2415. And now my last one, angle Z, I basically get for free because I know angle Y and I know angle X. So I can just do 180 minus those two. So 5490. Lexi, how's that feel? Good. So again, as far as note cards go, I would probably write down those rules that tell me like which angle to solve for, right? When I have 3 angles remaining, I want the bigger. When I have 2 angles remaining, I want the smaller. And I would phrase it that way because when you're doing like the side angle side, that's 2 angles to solve for situation, right? You want to make sure that you're using that rule then as well. I wouldn't limit it to a side, side, side situation. I just write these 2 rules blanket. And regardless of the scenario, if you have 2 angles to solve for, 3 angles to solve for, that's the rule that I would be using to do it. How do you guys feel on that? Nah. It's like, Mr. Kulik, it's been a long time since I've done this. That was, well, you can get some practice in a second. And again, for the test format, you know that equation sheet I gave you guys that has like all the angle identities and the law of sines and cosines and all that stuff on it? It's the same equation sheet you'll get for the test. So that's what your equation sheet for the test will look like, is that same one that I passed out to you guys. In case you're wondering what it's going to look like, that's what you'll get. Same one. Anybody else? Questions on stuffs? Okie dokie. So we're going to do that homework quiz that we've put off. You don't have to do a solo one. You can do a partner one, but we have Maya's absent. Is she the only one that's gone? Do I have anybody on this list that's not actually in this class? Does everybody see their name? You don't see your name?
Yeah.
AJ,
Whalen.
what?
Mr. Whalen.
Oh, who's not on here?
Colin.
Colin. Okay, well, you're going to take Maya's place with Lexi then, because that makes it easy. Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there an H or no H? I never remember.
Oh, yeah, there's
Okay. All right. All right. So you guys can get up and move near your. So you're sitting with your partner, and I'll give you guys a quiz here once everybody's had a chance to kind of get up and rearrange themselves. Yes, Jake?
We have to submit one.
One for the group.
Get the that angle, dude.
Yeah, who are you going with? What? MJ. Okay.
No. It's YouTube Goobers. I'm not meant to do this.
Wait, did I hear that right?
Charlie, can I answer? Alright, Colin, I'm gonna give you one. Alright, feel it right now. Yeah, one person. Feel that? Growing a little, isn't it?
Yeah, we can figure it out. It's
So you will need, or you can use your equation sheet. So remember the equation sheet I gave you? If you have one,
See if I can find it.
see if you can find it. So that's, that one right there is what you're talking about. Should just,
Should we use our notebook?
no. Take one of these.
Did put those notes away? Can I write?
So we do, like, finding the time together, we do 45 to 30. 75. And then, so we write it.
This is
It's
like,
like,
Still pages in
Shoot, this is close. No, wait, so we do like the root to over
I mean, you can take it. I'm just asking before I just like give it away. Okay. Find one?
Yeah. What should we start with? Yeah.
Make sure you guys write both names on your sheet.
Great start.
yeah, you do that. Sign it.